here's another game that wasn't that big of a hit and also features cartoon animals. Why am I sensing a pattern here?
Well, Tail Concerto is a hybrid of sorts. It's mostly an action game with a little bit of platforming thrown in. It's also the first in a series by CyberConnect 2 called the Little Tail Bronx series, a series that probably was never going to exist. Reason being is that Tail Concerto didn't sell that well, and as much as CyberConnect 2 wanted to make a sequel, Bandai restricted them on making one. They did pitch Tail Concerto 2, but they were shot down. They did make Mamoru-kun, which is based on the Little Tail Bronx world, but was part of a disaster relief program, not a game. Then there's Sola Torobo, the Red Hunter for the DS. It does take place in the same world, but it's seen more as a spiritual successor.
This is one of those series where you could tell that the publishers have no faith in it whatsoever because they have no marketing put into it, and so it gets overshadowed by other titles. Yeah, we know that tits sell, but you sucked and you know it. Yeah, that's right, you keep walking.
When I first saw this game, I thought it was an RPG. Could you blame me though? It's published by Atlas in America, Bandai in Japan, and was developed by CyberConnect 2, three companies that are known for having their hands in RPGs. And at the time, you could distinguish what type of game it was by the art style of the cover. A lot of RPGs had that anime style during the 5th generation of consoles. Graphically, it's adorable. It's really, really cute, almost sickeningly so. The character models are rather stiff looking when they move, but when they're piloting the mechs, it's more animated. And speaking of animated, this game uses traditionally animated cutscenes, and that's something I just love to see. The music is pretty good too. It fits the overall theme of the game.
The voice acting is crap. Lanny Minella returns as the main character and is actually kind of talented at this, but unfortunately, not as his sidekick.
The main character is Waffle. Yes, Waffle. Every time the characters say his name, I break out laughing. I can't take him seriously with that name. Waffle is the only character whose name is that of a breakfast food, while all the other characters have somewhat decent and normal names. It's even more hilarious when they say his name in meaningful scenes.
Oh, Waffle, thank you for... I'm sorry. I can't do that with a straight face, because every time they say his name, I expect for other characters like bacon and hash browns to come up. All seriousness, all emotion, gone because you said the main character's ridiculous name.
But Waffle's sidekick, or assistant, or fucker with a save point as I've been calling him, is also voiced by Lanny Minella. He sounds like Bubsy from Bubsy 3D. If only I could smack this character because he's so annoying. Which makes me wonder because Waffle sounds fine, but this little bitch here doesn't. The rival to Waffle, a female cat called Alicia, also has an annoying voice. It's like listening to nails on a chalkboard. But whatever, any English dubbing back in those days was at the least not good. But you didn't care if it was good or bad back then, you were just happy to hear that the characters had voices.
And it's true, if a game came out now with voice acting this bad, it would be unacceptable. It's like taking a cheese grater to your eardrums.
You can jump, grab onto ledges, fire bubbles that somehow do damage to anything that's not a living thing, but for some reason will selectively capture rambunctious little kittens. And you can grab and throw stuff. And as much as I'd love to, you unfortunately can't throw the kittens, and I'll bring that up in a bit. Your main objective is to stop the Black Cats Gang, a group of cat girls who are causing problems around the area that the game is set in. But as you continue through the story, a much bigger plot is revealed.
However, this game suffers from issues to the point where it makes you wonder how much of it was actually play-tested.
When the game first starts out, it's rather easy, but when you get to a certain point, the camera and the controls become a severe hindrance. The way Waffle controls feels very off. He makes very wide turns and handles pretty loosely. I found myself sliding off of ledges several times, and there seems to be selective ledges that Waffle will grab onto. And the camera only makes things worse. There will be times where it'll be at an odd angle, making it hard to gauge where you are in location to where you want to be. So you may fall, either to the bottom of the level, or just into the deep recesses of space several times. Luckily, falling doesn't take away too much damage, and any health pickups that you find are pretty plentiful, and they do restore quite a bit of health.
And these issues make the game almost unfair, and it doesn't help when they decide to put time limits on certain areas.
At the halfway point of the game is when the camera and controls make it very difficult, because the game decides at this point in time it wants to be a 2D platformer but still allows you to move in the third dimension. It's extremely disorientating and frustrating to have to deal with this. I can't tell you how pissed off I got at the abandoned factory and secret hideout levels. And it's not because of the controls. Oh no, I got used to those. The camera screws you over in these sections. Up until this point, you're having a good time. You're enjoying it. and then the camera comes over and farts in your face.
But don't take your frustration out on helpless controllers. They're expensive to replace.
The way you attack feels very inefficient. You have to pick things up and throw them or shoot them with your bubble gun, which has all the power of a pea shooter. You can pick up bombs, but on occasion it's difficult to find them before they explode. This is why I wish you could throw the kittens. It would be so funny to smack them against each other, and it would be more satisfying, especially since some of them are relentless in attacking you.
Also, is it too much to ask for some variety in these enemies? I feel like I've captured the same kitten at least 200 times. Either that or these things reproduce faster than rabbits, and given how they pop out of nowhere most of the time, I wouldn't be surprised if they were rabbits.
The story takes place in a distant future where humans have become extinct while cats and dogs have evolved into bipedal creatures. You'd think that whatever caused the humans to die out would have also killed the cats and dogs too. But anyway, the world is apparently broken into pieces of magically floating landmasses. The cats and dogs were at war before the events of the game, but now they're living together peacefully instead of in mass hysteria.
Looks like Peter Venkman's predicted outcome for the aftermath of Gozer came true.
It's shown that Waffle and Alicia were childhood friends that lost contact with each other, and there seems to be a love triangle between Waffle, the princess, and Alicia, as both girls seem to want to be with Waffle. Alicia has gotten into her head that the dog people hate the cat people, and she wants to make her own land for the cat people, which makes no sense because it's quite obvious that cats and dogs are living together just fine. But Alicia isn't the main villain, but more of a misguided character with good intentions. There is someone who's pulling the strings who has a hidden agenda and goes by the name of Fool. However, I didn't finish the game to completion because of the bad camera, so I don't know how it ends. The camera shouldn't be part of what makes a game challenging, and breaking a controller because of a bad camera and loose controls is not going to help in getting a good score. I'm pretty sure that the rest of the game isn't like this, but when bad programming aspects become an almost impossible wall to climb, it puts a damper on things.
While I like Tail Concerto and I want to give it a higher score, unfortunately, I'm just going to have to give it a decent one. Okay, let's see what's on for next week. Blink's the Time Sweeper. What the hell, is this furry February?
Thanks for watching my video, and if you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to check out some of my other videos too.